I actually think the border is a more public, bigger issue than the economy. Welcome to John Mike Keene. Let me make my case.
The Trump voter is a different voter today than the Republican voter of 20 years ago.
This is about who changed what. The Republicans have changed because we've seen how serious the border is. But I think the border was the biggest four-year display to the average Republican. That's going to reach well into Pennsylvania.
In fact, the Trump voter of today was a Democratic voter of 20 years ago.
Many of them.
Oh, don't insult me. But what does he mean? You want some proof? Here's Bill Clinton. Watch this and tell me it sounds like a speech written by Donald Trump.
Americans, not only in the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country, are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country. The jobs they hold might otherwise be held by citizens or legal immigrants. The public service they use impose burdens on our taxpayers. That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more, by hiring a record number of new border guards, by deporting twice as many criminal aliens as ever before, by cracking down on illegal hiring, by barring welfare benefits to illegal aliens.
Now, if you're a Democrat who believed that 25 years ago, who are you going to vote for today? If that is important to you and you believe all that's true, how could you possibly cast a vote for a Democrat, for a Kamala Harris today?
In the budget I will present to you, we will try to do more to speed the deportation of illegal aliens who are arrested for crimes, to better identify illegal aliens in the workplace. We are a nation of immigrants, but we are also a nation of laws. It is wrong and ultimately self-defeating for a nation of immigrants to permit the kind of abuse of our immigration laws we have seen in recent years, and we must do more to stop it.
I know what you're thinking. Bill Clinton, what a racist. How terrible, how mean he is. He wants to put people in cages. This is going to affect Pennsylvania.
And going back to Pennsylvania, if you get those people in the middle of the state, blue-collar jobs, middle-class people to turn out, right, then Trump wins. And it's very hard. It's very hard for pollsters to do that because it's new. It's not patterns that you've seen in the past.
That's why there may be a hidden vote of a mass of people that used to be Democrat or nonpartisan who are coming over to the Republican Party, and that does not show up in polls. Here's Eric Doherty on Twitter. New, Trump has a packed last day on the campaign trail today. This is all the events that he went to yesterday. Now watch this. North Carolina, but there's two of them next. Pennsylvania, and then Michigan. Let's go down to J.D. Vance's schedule, that last one down there. Newtown, Pennsylvania. They're hitting Pennsylvania with 3 events yesterday because it's so close. And we're going to get into the numbers here on how close it is in Pennsylvania. Like that pollster said, there's a hidden vote going to Trump in Pennsylvania. We only need 50,000 votes.
Graphic B, this is final mail-in ballots and early voting in Pennsylvania. So this is the Dems firewall. They have to build up this big early vote lead with all the votes that have come in that are counted. The Democrats have about a 450,000 vote lead. So you say, well, that's pretty good going into game day. Well, the problem is they had a 950,000 vote lead this time in 2020. So we have cut that by 500,000. That's a lot of votes. A lot of early votes we've cut this by. They really needed to get the 750 to be comfortable. They're at 450.
I've heard a lot of prognosticators say that 500,000 early votes was the magic number. Anything in that range would bring them great pause. This guy says they need 750,000. They're down 500,000. So they're at that magic 450,000 number. That puts them a solid 50,000 votes too short to win Pennsylvania. Again, we'll see how these numbers roll out today, the day of voting. We have to get out there and vote. But the early numbers for Kamala Harris look like she has not excited the Democrat base or the middle enough. And I believe that border issue is what caused it.
Does not bode well for the Democrats in Pennsylvania. So they're minus about 500,000 in an early vote lead, mail-in ballot lead, where they were in 2020. It's a testament to the Pennsylvania ground game.
You're going to see on election night tonight The Dems are ahead in Pennsylvania by 500,000 or 450,000 votes with the early votes, and they haven't weighed in what the Republican early votes, they're going to come in too. Be cautious on election night of swings up and down. It's not a conspiracy. It's not shenanigans. Just hold tight.
I'm predicting a Trump victory in Pennsylvania by 2.5 to 3. Erie, Pennsylvania tied. Northampton, poll out. Trump's ahead there. These are swing counties. So things looking very good for us.
They look good for Trump. We're ahead by 2.5 to 3, according to him. I think we're ahead by 5%, but that could just be my wishful thinking. Remember, he only needs to be ahead by 0.1% to win. And the national polls have Trump ahead by 0.1% on election day. I'm John Mike Keene.